A grandmother accused of murder in Texas and Florida. The new evidence that police may have known she was on the run in the area before a Bradenton woman was killed. Plus, a shocking breach of privacy, the internal investigation into a Longboat Key police officer, and more affordable housing in Bradenton. Why those living nearby have mixed feelings about the project. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Jacqueline Matter has the night off. Topping our news tonight, we are learning new details in the case of a grandmother accused of killing a Bradenton woman. Lois Reese appeared in court for the first time today. She is accused of killing her husband in Minnesota, then heading south to Fort Myers, Florida, where she murdered Pamela Hutchinson in an effort to steal her identity. Tonight, we are hearing newly released 911 calls that suggest Lee County deputies knew Reese was in the area before Hutchinson was killed. Here's Jasmine Miner with more on those calls.
Her mother and father saw Lois Reese driving around outside their home and locked themselves inside their Fort Myers Beach home. Their daughter called Lee County for help.
Is anyone in danger right now?
I don't know. She has been missing for a week and a half. She stole a bunch of money, and her husband was found shot in the back 5 times. So maybe. I think they're hiding.
Who's hiding?
My parents.
They had reason to fear. This call made days before Lee County Sheriff deputies believe Reese killed Pamela Hutchinson in order to steal her identity. But it wasn't the first call for help. The mother called 911 a full week before Hutchinson was found dead. Not only did the mother spot Reese driving outside her home, she even told deputies Reese was wanted in her husband's murder in Minnesota.
There's an ATV out for a Lois Reese from Blooming Prairie, Minnesota in Steele County. She just got out of her car at my Florida house. I also live in Blooming Prairie, so I know about the whole thing, Fort Myers Beach. She was just here.
In each call, the operator said a deputy would be sent out. But when I asked the Lee County Sheriff's Office if they actually sent someone, Four in Your Corner was told, quote, the investigation remains active.
A grand jury indicted Reese for first-degree murder with a firearm, among other charges, but we are told the other charges may be pending. Her arraignment is set for June 11th. Back here at home, accused of collecting photos of dead people at crime scenes and then showing them off, a Longboat Key police officer is now under investigation. Jeffrey Houchins has been with the Longboat Key police for 2 years after he was denied a job with the Lakeland police after showing a background investigator photos he had taken of victims at crime scenes.
He pulled out his cell phone and said, "Hey, do you want to see some dead bodies?" So he started showing pictures of crime scene photos from his other agency up in Indiana.
The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office also passed on Houchins, but it seems these concerns slipped through the cracks when Houchins tried the Longboat Key Police Department. Chief Peter Cummings tells us Houchins was counseled on May 10th after releasing photos of a pedestrian who had been hit and killed by a car, but he only learned of the incident with the Lakeland Police Department from a recent newspaper article, which led to his decision to launch an internal investigation. The Florida State Attorney's Office announcing indictments this evening in 2 recent Suncoast murders. Dakota Gibson has been indicted for the Easter morning murder of Veronica Polite on April 1st. Polite died from blunt force trauma to the head. 2 witnesses telling police they saw Gibson flirting with her outside of her home. A second indictment was announced for Barack Posas, who is accused of murdering 60-year-old Joanne Emio on April 13th. Her body was found in the carport of her Bradenton mobile home. Posas was found at a nearby bar with blood on his hands and clothes. A man arrested for selling drugs on Manatee County streets has now been convicted. The state attorney's office says Damian Ross has been found guilty of trafficking thousands of dollars worth of heroin in our area, selling cocaine, and resisting arrest. He now faces a maximum sentence of 75 years. A Tampa neighborhood is cleaning up tonight following a water main break earlier this evening. Take a look at the water pouring from that broken water main, sending what appears to be a river of water right up to people's homes, some even having to be evacuated from their homes as a result. Tampa police say the broken main has since been shut off, but the road remains closed tonight due to the damage the water inflicted on that roadway. Well, now let's take it over to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with your first alert forecast tonight. And Bob, things kind of heating up in our own area down here.
Very active showers and storms rolling ashore from the Gulf of Mexico. There's a little low pressure area out here spinning around right now, and it hasn't been moving much, and it continues to send a little piece of energy every once in a while right into the coast with some heavy rainfall, winds gusting as high as 30 to 40 miles an hour with some of the cells, and they're still pretty active right now. You can see that rotation quite clearly on the radar loop from about 6 o'clock this evening. It goes right there. There's a mid-level low that's spinning there, and hard to detect as far as the models go, so sometimes these systems can pop up, and this is a outflow boundary. You see it coming from the heavier storms into, again, Polk County, stretching through Hillsborough and into Manatee County. As these two meet, more storms will start to fire up right there along those boundaries. You can see that happening already along I-75. Still heavy rain right now near Parrish, and also it's starting to lessen up somewhat in Bradenton. We're getting some rainfall, Anna Maria Island, and down to street level it goes, and Palmetto getting some moderate rainfall right now. This is going to be winding down here in the next hour or so, but not in the central portion of DeSoto County. Arcadia, get ready for some heavy rainfall there too. And it's all associated with this trough of low pressure in the Gulf of Mexico, and once in a while a little piece of energy spins around it and comes right on in to the west coast of Florida. Much more on our Friday forecast coming up in a few minutes. Adam?
All right, thank you, Bob. New tonight, more affordable housing is on the way for the Bradenton area. Just east of downtown, ground was broken earlier this week on 6th Avenue East on a development where pricing will be more favorable. Here's ABC7's Rick Adams with more on that project.
Well, back there, work is already underway on this project. There are many who feel this is a step in the right direction when it comes to affordable housing. All the dirt on this 3.5 acres of land in the 700 block of 6th Avenue East in Bradenton is ready to be transformed. A 90-unit apartment complex called the Addison is being built, 77 of which will have affordable housing rates, not far from the downtown area. Derica Brown is a mom of 2-year-olds with another child on the way. She lives near the development and is happy to see more affordable housing coming to the area.
I feel like it's really good for our community to have affordable housing for the less fortunate. I feel like that's really a blessing for the community.
The Housing Trust Group is the organization behind this $22 million project. Prices for the apartments will range from $328 a month to $1,400. It will feature 1, 2, and 3-bedroom apartments between 660 square feet and 1,065 square feet. Although some folks we talked with are not happy to have this project in their neighborhood, most people are for it. Chester Scott's business, Studio by 2 Architects, is down the road from the development. He tells us there is a tremendous need for something like this, but he thinks the look of it can be a little better.
I think the concept is good. I've seen the rendering, and I'm not real excited about that because it seems to be a little bit bland.
In addition to these affordable apartments, we're being told the property will feature amenities such as a fitness center, resort-style pool, dog park, and some retail space, among other things. And this project is expected to be finished and ready for residents by the summer of 2019. Reporting from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Rick. Well, the Small Business Awards are quickly approaching, and if you'd like to nominate a local small business, make sure you get that nomination in by June 15th. The program looks at a business's growth, productivity, customer service, job creation, and contribution to the community. Nominees must have a minimum of 3 years in business, no more than 80 employees, and conduct a substantial amount of business in Manatee County. For more information on how you can submit a nomination, just go to our website, mysuncoast.com. Well, the city of Venice is showing off its school spirit again with its second Parade of Champions this year. On Wednesday, June 13th, the community will celebrate Venice High School's 2018 FHSAA 7A Baseball State Championship and Class 2A Wrestling State Championship. The parade steps off at 6 p.m. June 13th from Venice Elementary School. It will follow the same route as the first parade back in February for the football and volleyball teams, ending in Centennial Park. Win so many championships, you already have the route drawn up. Well, straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with the first alert weather forecast, plus a rare type of shark not common for our area, what scientists hope this appearance will bring, and a shock for one Englewood family after a small plane crashed down in their front yard.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small. So Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
Army National Guard soldiers serve to give back to their country and their community. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for benefits such as health and life insurance, education benefits, and retirement and VA home loan benefits. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
President Trump met with Japanese Prime Minister Abe ahead of next week's North Korea summit. Abe requested the visit, making today's meeting his 7th with President Trump. ABC's Serena Marshall tells us about the mounting pressure over a deal.
The president believes his pending summit with North Korea's Kim Jong-un is all about attitude.
I don't think I have to prepare very much. It's about attitude, it's about willingness to get things done, but I think I've been preparing for the summit for a long time.
The president reiterated the U.S. will accept nothing less than full denuclearization in exchange for sanctions relief. But the Japanese prime minister coming to D.C. to make sure they aren't left behind in any negotiations. Japan's fearful the U.S. could strike a deal that would eliminate long-range missiles that would strike the U.S. while allowing the regime to keep the short and medium-range ones that threaten Japan. During his April confirmation hearing, Secretary Pompeo made clear
the purpose of the meeting is to address this nuclear threat to the United States.
Thursday, Pompeo saying any deal would be submitted to Congress for approval.
Chairman Kim will have comfort that American policy will continue to down the same path on the course that we hope we're able to set in Singapore.
Even as the president downplayed expectations and continued to offer a caveat.
I believe we're going to have a terrific success or a modified success, but in one form or another, if it all goes, and things can happen between now and then.
One clue he gave into how to judge the summit.
If you hear me saying we're going to use maximum pressure, you'll know the negotiation did not do well.
Adding, if it goes well, Kim Jong-un could be invited to the U.S. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Well, back here in Florida, proponents of drilling for oil and natural gas are not giving up on tapping areas closer to our state's shoreline. The American Petroleum Institute is announcing a multi-state Explore Offshore coalition. That coalition supports the Trump administration's plan to open parts of the Atlantic Ocean and eastern Gulf of Mexico to oil and gas drilling. The coalition's Florida team is focused on the eastern Gulf waters.
We're using more than 25 million gallons of motor fuel a day, and we're producing most of our electricity, upwards of near 70% of our electricity from clean burning, lower carbon footprint natural gas. And we've got to get that for us every day and into the future as well.
Many Florida officials, including Governor Rick Scott and U.S. Senator Bill Nelson, have denounced the possibility of opening to drilling nearly all of the nation's outer continental shelf. A shock for a South Sarasota County community as a small plane crashed into the front yard of an Englewood home. That plane going down just before noon on Jamestown Avenue. One of our viewers, Robert Pateski, sent us this video just minutes after the plane crashed. Sarasota County Sheriff's Office deputies say the pilot was trying to take off from Buchan Airport on State Road 776 at the time. Luckily, no one was hurt, but as you can see, that plane not really flight worthy. The investigation is now being handled by federal authorities. A rare sighting off the coast of Anna Maria Island, fishermen spotting 5 whale sharks about 40 miles off the coast of Anna Maria Island. Whale sharks are the world's largest fish, and while they have been spotted in the Gulf before, scientists here at Mote Marine Laboratories say their visit to waters around here are few and far between. According to scientist Dr. Bob Huter, the creatures are vulnerable, said to even be endangered in some areas.
We're really looking for help from the fishing, boating community to let us know about sightings that have occurred in the last 12 to 24 hours and get that information to us as quickly as possible so that we can get out and find those sharks.
Mote scientists want to put these tracking devices on the sharks so that they can learn more about them. Dr. Huter says there's very little known about these sharks and why they might be in this area. Certainly a spectacular and rare video there.
Absolutely. You know, it's always good to contact, too, on the radio when you're out there. You have a marine radio, and that can get the information quicker, too, back and forth to Mote Marine. So,
and yeah, that's exactly what they're asking for.
Right.
So get the...
They could be 100 miles away by now. It's 4 days old or so, that video.
Well, sure, of course.
This was just 24 hours ago. This video you're going to see here, sent in from a viewer. Get a look at this, Adam. This is the power of lightning. You see that right there? I got it looped here, so we're going to see it again. But this was a lightning bolt yesterday that was taken again, and you can see it just blows the concrete up. Marlene's sending that in. Appreciate that shot. That just shows you how strong these lightning bolts can be. In fact, excuse me, I guess we're going to be talking some more. I'm just going to do my weather, but
don't leave just yet, man.
Yeah. Anyway, we have got some nice shots here. Again, look at that tower cam showing the clouds rolling on in associated with a low pressure area out there in the Gulf. We showed you that earlier. You can see those clouds just building and produce some pretty heavy rainfall too. In fact, the viewer photos, this is looking east now. We have even big storms east. The celery fields, Cindy Desmond getting that shot of the towering cumulonimbus, and Jason Van Cleve, JVC we call him, he sent photos in as well, and that's a nice sunset there. Well, here's that low pressure area spinning around right again into the eastern Gulf of Mexico. This area of low pressure, you can see it rotating, and some heavier storms along the east coast as well tonight. So pretty active, and that's a result of, again, the system kind of hanging out there in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. We will see, again, some lightning flashes overnight, but most of the rain is starting to wind down here with this particular cell, which moved on through earlier with some ferocity and brought some 30 to 40 mile an hour winds. And now we're getting the meeting of 2 outflow boundaries right there, and you'll start to see storms just kind of flare up right there, and that's the result of the air meeting one another, and there's 2 frontal boundaries for the most part meeting one another, outflow boundaries. Some big storms near Arcadia and elsewhere inland just to the east of Wauchula. Some heavier weather there. That light rain now continuing from Bayshore Gardens through Palmetto and into Ellington. and heading toward Parrish. Arcadia, lots of lightning strikes there currently, and the rainfall rates at one point were up to 2.5 inches earlier today. In Wauchula, just under 2.5 inches there, 4 inches in southeast portions of DeSoto County. Lesser amounts, about a ½ inch in some areas with this last batch that moved in. Well, this low pressure trough continues just kind of hanging here, and with it, a few pieces of energy moving onshore, and that will continue tomorrow. This is one forecast model showing we could even see some redevelopment later on tonight, but more so, I think, on again and off again throughout the day. As long as this low is out there kind of spinning around, there's a chance for scattered showers. Not everyone got the rainfall today. In fact, Venice southward didn't see much at all this afternoon or this evening. High pressure is going to slowly build in and kind of knock this low pressure out a little bit for the weekend. So I don't think we'll see as many storms around for the weekend. But next week, a different story. We'll have to watch the tropics. The GFS forecast model continues to show something spinning out of the Caribbean. Now, the latest model run shows a little bit further off to the west of Florida. It had been a little bit closer to us, and it's a little weaker too. That's another good sign as it makes its way toward Louisiana. So there's a lot that can be done and a lot can happen between now and Thursday of next week. And here's Friday, June 15th. You can see it near New Orleans, but a lot can happen with that as far as temperatures go. Now, 70 degrees in Sarasota, 71 into Orlando. Temperatures have cooled somewhere where it's rained. The Gulf water temperature now at 83. Currently at the airport, some light rain and 70 degrees, and the humidity way up there, 93%. The forecast for boaters tomorrow, scattered showers around with that low out there. Southeast winds turn to the southwest at 10 knots. Seas will be 1 to 2 feet. And then the extended forecast, 40% chance on Friday. It drops to 20. A nice weekend ahead, mainly afternoon and evening storms, most of that inland. And then we'll watch the tropics closely on Wednesday and Thursday for the possibility of some heavier showers and storms around. Well, didn't get a chance to go fishing. It's been, hurricane seminar after hurricane seminar and show and so on and so forth. But a lot of people are, and a lot of people are catching fish as well. Get a look at this family who was fishing right there. This is Captain Brian Marcy, and that's the family fishing right there. Breakwater Charters sending that photo in. And Coach Steve Herrick still out there on the beach with Beach Fishing Adventures. Another father and son team out there fishing just in time for Father's Day, which is not too far off. And Captain Alan Roth tells me that the snook bite is just incredible right now. Obviously, it's not snook season, so you got to release all of them. And then Captain Scott Moore sent this photo in of his clients, and that's a father and son duo catching a huge cobia. And by the way, those cobia that you see right there, those are big fighters, and they fight for a long time. They sometimes hang out underneath those whale sharks. And when we saw our whale shark 5 or 6 years ago, there was like 5 of those cobia underneath the fin of the whale shark, which is pretty amazing.
No kidding.
Yeah, we caught a couple of them.
All right,
Yeah.
way to go. Way to take advantage there.
That's
All right,
right.
well, we're out of here. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm
Sports is coming up next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Tonight, it's an Instant Kimmel Classic. Nice! It is nice, because Kerry Russell's here.
So good.
Plus, when do we want Pamela Adlon?
Now is when I want it!
And American Idol winner Maddie Poppy performs. Kimmel, tonight on ABC.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004.
Now, sports.
The Rays made things interesting tonight after an early deficit against the visiting Seattle Mariners. Denard Span started the season as a Rays starter, and he goes deep off his former team in the third inning to make it a 4-0 game. The Rays would score just one run through 8 innings tonight, but in the 9th inning, Johnny Field coming up with a bases-loaded double with 2 outs off another former Ray, Alex Colomé, in to try and close that game out for the Mariners. And a 3-run score, that cuts the lead to just 1. Daniel Robertson would be the next batter. He hits a chopper to third, but there's a nice play by Kyle Seager, and the Mariners barely hold on to beat the Rays 5-4. Alex Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals, one win away from a Stanley Cup tonight. Game 5 in Las Vegas. Ovechkin breaking up a 1-1 tie in the second period with a power play goal off a one-timer. As you can see right there, on the road, Capitals taking a lead. But the Golden Knights respond with a controversial redirect from David Perrin. The Capitals challenge, but the goal still stands. Then Vegas taking the lead with less than 2 minutes in the second period, which you will see coming up right here. But it's the Capitals who come all the way back to win this game 4-3, their first championship in over 40 years. In the NFL, wide receiver Julian Edelman may have to wait an extra month to return to football. According to ESPN, the Patriots' star wide receiver is facing a 4-game suspension for violating the league's performance-enhancing substance policy. The suspension is under appeal. Edelman missed all of 2017 after tearing his ACL during the preseason. Philadelphia 76ers president Brian Colangelo is stepping down. Team brass says Colangelo offered his resignation Thursday after an independent firm found he used secret Twitter accounts to blast his own players and colleagues while defending himself from criticism online.
This incredibly sad situation will not get the better of us as it relates to moving the program forward.
The team announced coach Brett Brown would oversee basketball operations on an interim basis. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers straight ahead.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free. You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
My California classes experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. So wet.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Webb.
And I'm Ray Collins. Some local attorneys will offer free legal consultation to Suncoast residents.
We're going to tell you how you can take part in that program at Goodwill, Minnesota. That's tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. John?
So we have changing weather pattern coming up over the course of the weekend. We've had this consistent westerly wind flow that brought us those morning showers. Well, that's about to change.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Well, if you're looking for a fun and inexpensive way to spend more time with your kids this summer, how about a $1 movie? Well, starting this week and running through Wednesday, August 15th, Regal Cinemas in Sarasota and Bradenton will be offering $1 family-friendly movies. Some of those films include The Iron Giant, Despicable Me, Trolls, and the Lego Movie. So nothing new, but $1 may be well worth it to pipe down some kids for a little
I
while.
don't think I've seen the Lego Movie yet, but I have seen the Despicable Me with my daughter, so that was kind of nice. We saw two, too, which is nice. We are looking at some showers around this evening, nothing severe. There's still a chance we'll see a few scattered showers at any time during the day tomorrow, even in the morning. You may see a few on your commute.
All right, well, John Scalzi will be back in the morning with more on that. Good Morning Suncoast starts at 5 a.m.